Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I just made a video in regards to Ezra Miller and the accusations made against him in regards to grooming, having an unsafe household where there are children and things like that. So I thought it only fair to make a video in regards to this topic here. There's a link in the description. Prosecutors seek 15 years in jail for former Cheer star, this guy here, Jerry Harris. So it's in regards to an actor, this guy, Jerry Harris, and not of our favorite sitcom Cheers, but of our least favorite Netflix show, Cheer, which was about cheerleaders. It was a documentary series, apparently. Didn't watch it, to be honest. A prosecutor has asked a federal judge to sentence Jerry Harris, this scumbag here, a former star of the Netflix documentary Cheer, to 15 years in prison. Why? Well, for coercing teenage boys to send him obscene photos and videos of themselves, and soliciting sex from minors at cheerleading competitions. Um, so he's a pedo, basically. His defense lawyers are seeking a 6-year sentence. Prosecutors want 15 years. So essentially, the assistant U.S. attorney has written a memo saying that Jerry Harris used his status as a competitive cheerleader, his social media persona, as well as his celebrity and money, to persuade and entice his young victims to engage in sexually explicit conduct for him or with him. Okay, so he groomed these minors. He groomed the minors. He used his celebrity to groom the minors. I understand the term groom in this sense, and he seemingly literally did coerce children to forward videos and photos of themselves, as well as solicit sex from minors. Okay, now he pleaded guilty earlier this year to one count each of receiving child pornography and traveling with the intention to engage in illegal sexual conduct. He's due to be sentenced July the 6th. Now, his defense lawyers have claimed that he deserves a lesser sentence of only 6 years. Why? Well, because he's a victim. Poor little pedo is also a victim. Perhaps I'm wrong for being facetious here, but he says that he was a victim of sexual abuse himself. Let me just find those details. Yeah, it says here that he was abused himself when he was a child, and that abuse has led to a skewing of what he felt was appropriate relationships. So that's why the prosecution want this guy to be given a pass, given a pass and only sentenced to 6 years. Why? Because he was abused as a child, and that has had an effect on his understanding of what appropriate relationships are. So what do you think of that? What do you think of that? Is that a good enough reason? So if there's a pedo and they themselves were abused as a child, should that pedo be given a lighter sentence because of the suffering that they had? I think it's a good question. I do think it's a good question. I fall hard on the no, don't give them any leniency. I mean, look, it's a shame that this pedo suffered the abuse that he did. It's a real shame. I guess I even feel sorry for him in that regard if I was to consider it for too long. It's a real shame. It should not have happened. It is wrong to have happened to him. But that in no way lessens the damage that he's inflicted on others. I think we can probably understand and especially if there is scientific evidence, which I think there probably is. But I think we probably all have the general understanding that sexual abuse, child abuse, other kinds of abuse are very circular, in that if a victim of abuse of various kinds is more likely to inflict such abuse on others. So we're aware of that. And it's a terrible reality of life. It's a terrible reality of nature, I guess. Um, but but we still need to adequately punish those that do harm to others in these horrendous ways. So my feeling would be, I understand the question. I agree that it's an important question to ask. But I don't think it's justifiable to significantly lessen sentencing of child abusers, or probably any offender, on the basis of their historic abuse. Yeah, so I think that's my feeling. So by his historic abuse, I mean his suffering happened when he was a child. So that's historic because he's no longer a child. He entered adulthood. I mean, if it were a situation where someone runs up to me, for example, and punches me in the face, then yeah, goddamn right, I'm gonna fucking smack them back in the face as well, and I might do a little bit more damage than that. But that wouldn't be being a historic victim. That would be being a victim in the moment. Hopefully, I've made sense. And there we go. There's really all that we need to know. We could go through a few more details if we like. Jerry Harris was arrested in September 2020 on a charge of production of child pornography. Prosecutors alleged at the time that he solicited videos and images from two 14-year-old brothers. See, I can't feel sorry for this guy. I mean, I just can't. Or rather, I can't. I guess I could feel sorry for him for what he suffered at the time. You know, if you think about this guy as a child, I don't know the details of what he suffered, but seemingly he claims that he suffered child abuse. So I can feel sorry for the child version of him, but I can't give him a pass when he is allegedly guilty of such heinous acts. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. It's a shame that he suffered what he suffered when he was a child. But there's, again, I'm repeating myself at this point, there's no justification for causing harm to others. He did cause harm to others. There are other incidences here. He admitted to asking a teenage boy to send him lewd photographs and to requesting child pornography from at least 10 to 15 other children known to be minors. He's admitted to it. The guy's a fucking scumbag. So maybe his brain has been perverted, destroyed by the abuse he suffered. And that's terrible if that is the case. But if that is the case, then he's still got to be sentenced and dealt with in a just way. And that does not include leniency for his previous suffering. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think. I'm going to wrap things up at this point, and thank you for your time.